Good afternoon, students. I'm back. Your Abhijit Chakraborty sir is back today, and today uh, it will be a pleasure to be back here. Today we'll be discussing about CBSE Class 12 English and Elementary School Classroom in Slum. It is an important poem as far as CBSE board is concerned. So I am coming back. Your Abhijit Chakraborty sir is coming back, and we'll be discussing about an elementary school classroom in Islam. Basically, before going into the deep of that particular chapter, some of the things we need to discuss about that. The situation in the slum area, especially the situation in the slum area, because the poet who has written that particular poem, Stephen Spender, he has shown that what was the slum area, what was the condition of the slum area, and especially the condition of the children, especially the children, slum area in the children. You know about the slum area in Mumbai. Dharbi is one of the biggest slum in the whole world. What we know that because in the magazines there are some articles that was published, not only in the in some magazine or newspaper. You can go through anywhere, so you can get ready or you can get the detail about the Dharbi, the slum area, because it is not all about the slum area, because the condition of the students, it is not basically the condition of the students but basically the condition of the people, those who are living over there. What was the condition of those people who are living over there? The condition of those people, especially the children, are very much, they are not getting any opportunity. They are not getting any kind of opportunity which a person can be offered. They are not getting anything else. Instead of that, they are not only getting anything, but they are in a very disturbing mode, because their parents, if you go by that, their parents, they are working in several places. Their condition, their hygienic condition, their other condition is not very conducive to live in, but they need to live there. They need to live there in the slum area, and they want to prosper themselves from the clutches of the poverty. So this was the situation. This was the situation, because before getting into that particular poem, we need to discuss about the area, slum area, the condition of the slum area, the people. What about the people? Because the people are over there, the people living over there. There are, they take their students to the school. Why they take their to the students to the school? Because if the students, if their children would be provided with minimum education, it is up to them. Okay, they can get the elementary education. Only these things that is required. Not much thing that is required. They don't want much bigger things in their life. So they want that the student should be educated or literate. They can write their names. They can read anything else. So their basic concept is very much is not very bigger. Their concept is very slow. Their concept is very small. They want to they want a type of what I tell you, that they try to draw a line in between them. So they don't want anything. Why they don't want anything? If we are discussing about that, why they want these kind of things? Because two or three things are there. Sheer poverty, absolutely sheer poverty. Poverty is in everywhere. Non-hygienic condition, their condition. Now the situation has been changed, because a few years I have been attached with a few government schools. I have seen that students came to the school because they want food, because they think that if they are getting the food, then they have to go to the school. So the perception changes. But here, the poet is talking about Spender. Mr. Spender is talking about those days. Just I'm going through that poem. I'm going through that poem. After that, you will recognize what are the basic things we need to discuss about that. So here you can see that elementary school classroom in a slum. Elementary school classroom in a slum. It is written by Stephen Spender. As you can see that Stephen Spender was an English poet, an essayist. He left University of College. It is written over there. And he has seen the poverty during the time 1990 or 1909 to 1995. That means he has seen the poverty of the Second World War. What was going on and what was going on at the time in the European countries, especially in the European countries, what was going on. So I am going with the line by line. You can see that far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, their hair torn round their pallor. The tall girl with her wig-downed head, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky heir of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk. At the back of the dim classes, an unnoted, sweet, and young, his eyes live in a dream of squirrels game in 3 room, others than this. So this is the first stanza. If we are discussing about the first stanza, that means that the poem describes an elementary school classroom in a slum. These slum children look very pathetic. Their faces were pale and reflect sadness. They are like rootless weeds as they lack proper nutrition. As they lacking the proper nutrition. So if we are talking about this, moreover, they're like rootless weeds as they lack proper nutrition. It is like rootless weeds. It is written over there. It is like rootless weeds. You can see that. Just I'm sharing the screen so that you can see the particular some of the important things. Like here, it is written that like rootless weeds. That is a very important thing. They're like rootless weeds as they lack proper nutrition. Moreover, they're unwanted plants which grow on their own without being cared for, totally neglected. The tall girl has weighed down head as he's burdened with the load of poverty. The tall girl has weighed down head. He's weighed down the head. She's a tall girl, but she's overburdened with the load of the poverty. In fact, she's subdued and suppressed. That her head had bowed down with the burden of her misfortune. The paper thin, extremely thin boy. The face, the face, and not only that, their body is like the paper thin, has rat's eyes because the poor, undernourished boy has deprived all the things. They have been deprived and suppressed. That her head bowed down with the burden of her misfortune. And the boy, the paper thin boy with the rat face, because the poor undernourished boy is deprived all the basic amenities of life. He's timid like a rat and full of anxiety. He searches for food and security. This unfortunate boy suffers from malnutrition and his growth is also stunted, not properly developed. He's also inherited from his father twisted bones, that is mean bent and distorted bones. He has inherited the poverty, disease, despair from his parents. He has been inherited this kind of thing in his life. So, the situation is not very conducive for them. The situation is never been very conducive for them as far as they are concerned. And he is timid like a rat and full of anxiety. He searches for the food and security. He has inherited the poverty and disease and despair from his parents. His body is also deformed. So these kind of things, these kind of situation they are facing. The unfortunate boy, he is suffering from the malnutrition, and the growth is also stunted, not properly developed. He has also inherited from his father twisted bones, as I told you. So there is a sweet, tender-looking student who sits at the back of the class. The boy is different from the others, as his eyes live in a dream. He's dreaming, probably thinking about the better future. Everyone is dreaming about the better future. Everyone is eyeing for the better future. And he's having the eye of the better future. And he feels that the future of his will be wonderful. He's lost in his own world, therefore not sad like the others. The boy thinks of the squirrel games. The squirrel games, it is a metaphor. He wants to enjoy and play freely like the squirrel in the garden outside. It is to do the squirrel games. He wants to go here and there. He wants to enjoy. He wants to play outside. The squirrel climbs tree, hides in their holes. The boy also dreams to be free, but he cannot, as he must sit in the dull and dreary classroom. In the boy's imagination, tree room, the hollow in a tree is full of fun, curiosity, mystery. This is a contrast to the gloomy classroom. So we have seen the contrast. We have seen so many things. We have seen the contrasting thing here and there. We can see the contrasting thing here and there. We can see so many things here and there. So in that particular chapter, in the particular stanza, we can see the two opposite kind of theories. One is the theory that has told that is the theory of the poverty-stricken people, and another theory is that though they are desperate or despaired, though they are driven in the poverty, they want to leave. They want to leave their world. They want to live for their own sake. Now, if we are going to the next stanza, you can get that. We can move to the next stanza. Here in the next stanza, you can see that on sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's hate, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome, riding all cities, believed flowery, Tyrole's valley, open-handed map awarding the world its world. And yet, for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, where all their futures painted with a fog, in narrow streets sealed in with a lit sky, far, far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. So these are the beautiful lines. These are some beautiful lines that has been, developed by the poet. What the poet has told about that? The classroom is not well maintained. It is not proper. During the time of the slum, they cannot maintain the school classroom. The pale cream walls, which are painted long ago with the help of donations, make the place look more miserable and sad. The cream, it was the pale cream walls that has been painted long, long ago. Now, the color is coming out. The color is coming out. What is the significance of the color? The significance of the color that is coming out, it is telling the miserable condition and sadness. Probably there is a portrait of Shakespeare on the wall. This is the ironic that it is put on in a place where there is no serious teaching over there. Cloudless dawn and civilized dome suggests the monotonous life in the sun. Cloudless dawn over there, civilized dome. These slums are surrounded by the civilized city. The slum area, where is the slum area? The slum area over there in the middle of the slum area. If you go outside of the slum area, you can get civilized world. But there is a difference between the civilized world and the slum area. The condition of the slum area and the civilized world, both are different, both are opposite. And children cannot experience the beauty of the sky at dawn and are unaware of it. All around them are concrete structure of the cities. The life in the slum contrasts with the cloudless sky at dawn and concrete structure which override the cities. There is a picture of a beautiful valley full of sweet, fragrant flowers. And these children of the slum will never be able to experience this beauty. They are deprived of this beautiful world, of this beauty of the world, and they are condemned to live in the slum amidst the garbage. The open-handed map in the classroom contrasts with their world. The world given to us by God is full of all bounties, whereas the world of the slum children is full of poverty and hunger. The world which they see is not the real world. Their world is confined to the narrow, dusty streets of the slum. The map in the classroom gives them the hopes and aspiration, motivates them to explore the world, but they will never be able to see the world. These children can get the glimpses of the outside of the world from the windows, and it's far from beyond their reach. They're far from their nature. These slum areas have a bleak and foggy nature, and from that foggy nature, from that particular nature, they cannot get anything. They cannot get anything. They cannot get anything. So these are the beautiful things, though it is not the beauty which we can look after. These are the things which is hard reality. They are far from the nature. These slum children have a bleak and foggy future in store for them. Their future is painted with a fog. It is blurred with hopelessness. There is no hope for the slum children. Instead of the normal blue sky, they live under dull, polluted, shows there is no hope for them. The atmosphere hints at their monotonous life, and the slum children remains confined throughout their lives, confined to the filth and dirt of the narrow slum streets. They are away from the glory of the natural beauty of the rivers and mountains. They have never seen such kind of a beautiful thing in their life. How they can see that? They cannot get out from their own world. They cannot go out. They cannot see the nature. What is the nature? Where they are living, it is not the nature. It is not the, it is the dirty place. It is the unhygienic and dirty place they are living in. So the poet has categorized, has painted the two separate pictures, and the two separate pictures we have seen, and we have encountered with the two separate pictures. Now we are going to the next. And here also, surely Shakespeare is wicked. The map is a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal for lives that slyly turn in their crammed holes. From fog to endless night, on their slack heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones, and spectacles of steel with mended glass, like bottle beads on stones, all of their time and space of foggy slums. So blot their maps with slums as big as Tom. So this is another picture. It has shown the another picture. You can see the another picture up there in the stanza 3. We can see the picture that the children of the slum are fighting the battle of life. Unarmed, they are battling their life. They are troubled by disease and despair. For them, Shakespeare is a wicked people. Who is Shakespeare? They don't know about the Shakespeare. Map is a bad example. And the literary excellence of Shakespeare, the scenic beauty portrayed in the map, cannot be relieved for them from their despair. They don't know. I mean, they are not in the mood to realize. They don't know. They are not in the mood. They cannot understand what the essence of the Shakespeare's writing. The map on the wall gives them the false aspiration, and it makes them aware of the beautiful world given by God. The world of these children is confined to the narrow streets of the slums. Therefore, map is a bad example. They feel cheated in being deprived of the thrilling sensation of the sun, the sheep, and the emotions of love. The sheep, sun, love, it is a symbolic things of the joy and happiness which these children are deprived of. Their only experience is that of hunger, poverty. They are only encountered with the hunger and the poverty. They cannot see the joyness. They cannot see the happiness to reach out the world beyond. These children are sometimes they're struggling to fulfill their dreams. There's these slum children live in a cramped hole, striving and struggling for the survival in the small and dirty rooms. From fog to endless night, from foggy morning till long endless nights, trying to meet both the ends. The slum children live in a slag heaps, piles of waste materials. Their world is full of dirt, garbage. These children are very weak and undernourished. Malnutrition is there. They look like the skeleton on their bones peep through their skin. They wear spectacles of the steel with the mended glass, discarded spectacles by the rich, mended, repaired, own. Someone has the, someone wear that. Some rich people wear the spectacles, and after the usage of the spectacle, they are thrown into the garbage, and they are taking the spectacle from the garbage, and they are wearing that. Their life is like a bottle beats on stone, shattered and broken like bits of bottle on a stone. They're deprived of even the basic amenities of life. Their world is comprised of foggy slums when they live in nightmare. Slums are the reality for the children, their home, where they spend their life. The maps displayed in the classroom are no reality for them. They cannot locate their slums in the map. It is urgently required to give this slum inhabitants means and opportunities. They are not getting the opportunities. They are not getting anything. They are not getting the opportunity to see the world. They are not getting the opportunity to see the world. So now we come to the next last stanza. The last stanza here you can see that unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like a catacombs break open till they break the town and show the children into green fields and make their world run as you on cold sands and let their tongues run naked into the book into books, the white and green leaves upon the history theirs whose language is in the sun. So in the last stanza for the elementary school in the slum exists and for the namesake. The infrastructure is nothing. The first infrastructure is poor. Would be hardly any teaching over serious over there. The school springs in activity only when a governor or school inspector would come. Then they're coming or they're waking up from the dream. The administrative machinery of the school gears up at that point of time. Then the map becomes their window from where they can see the world beyond the slums. And they're confined to the slums. Their sides and glimpses are shut upon, and they're deprived of all opportunities and means. Their lives are shut up in the cemetery of all these slums, where they slither and slog to make both ends meet. The poet hopes that these children will break free from their morbid life, from the chains of the slum. He appeals to those in power to liberate these children from the miserable slum and enable them to breathe in the fresh and beautiful, healthy environment away from the slum area. They should be able to bask in open, they can run into the open fields. They can enjoy every beautiful things of the nature. Their world should not be confined with the horrendous glory of the slums. The poet visualizes freedom for those children, and the poet sees the freedom. The poet wants the freedom, and the poet visualizes the freedom from the children. He wants a carefree life when they get economic and social justice, where they have the right to be free. The slums children should be able to enjoy the fundamental right of education. Otherwise, their lives will be in miserable condition. They should be able to learn not from the books alone, but from the world and the nature. So the poet ends a note of positivity, wants an opportunity to be available to the students. The people who strive for knowledge are the ones who create history. The ones who are let free are the ones who will create history. People who outshines others, who glow like the sun, who break free from the constraints of the restricted life are the ones who create history, and that of the disease and twisted bones. They need to come out from the disease and the bones, and they are come out from that particular point of view. So it was a beautiful poem. Not only it is a beautiful poem, it tells about the structure. It tells about what the poet is feeling about. So today we are completing today's lesson. I hope you enjoy that. And we are associate or partner of the QTV Live, Quarantine TV Live. Please see me in QTV also. Please watch QTV program, educational program. You can get a QTV program, and I will be there also. So I hope that you enjoy today's lesson. Thank you for today, and I hope that next time you'll come. Thank you, everyone. Bye.